What's up guys, hope everyone is doing well. In today's video I'm going to be going over some updates for Bitcoin, and I'm also going to be touching on Dogecoin given its recent pump starting on around the 25th of this month. But first off here for Bitcoin, you can see back here during the month of June we got this bullish divergence with respect to our stock RSI down here. If we go to September, we saw the same thing. We got a bullish divergence with respect to our stock RSI. Also again lining up back here with the pink vector candles. We had some purple vector candles right here. If we take a look at the stock RSI, more so down here, you can see we're starting to move up towards the upside, similar to how we did back here when we got this run, which further ties into how I mentioned in my previous video. If you want to look at this as a cup and handle type of formation, assuming that the price continues upwards momentum from here, the price target does nicely line up with the maximum that I believe we could push with the upcoming pump that we do see up towards around $32,000, around $28,000 at the lowest, around this 328. I think the original range it will go into and consolidate in is this 328 to the 0.444 here on this 2-day chart, which is going to nicely line up with finally breaking above this purple band and also this white band as well, as we haven't been able to do back here. We were being rejected by it ever since we lost 69,000, or more accurately back here at around 56,000. So breaking above this band right here and seeing price continue to gain the upper hand over that, being on top of it as it trades, is what we would need to see here in the next 2 months, coming 2 months of this year. Here for this 2-day chart, which I've been going over a lot recently, what I want to point out here is where this big arrow is pointing. You can see we're coming up and we are testing 21,000, which is in alignment with this yellow curve we're seeing, this resistance curve on the upside. And goes back to the title of this video. I believe, given this, that we will likely, if we do break 21,000, if we hold that as these fractals right here pointing out to and continue to move towards that range I said around 32,000, I believe this will confirm the bull market beginning. And be a very good opportunity to buy in. If we take a look here again for the indicators down here, as I've been saying, we are getting bullish divergences on all three of our indicators, not just on the 2-day time frame, but on many time frames we are seeing this as well. Here on the monthly chart, what I want to go over for here is mainly this support line we're seeing with respect to our previous cycle's all-time high wick at around 19.2 or so. We have 2 days left, 6 hours in this candle. I believe, assuming we'll continue to see this upwards momentum, if we hit 21,000 and we can close this current monthly candle at 21,000 or higher, we will close above this current support line, which I believe, again, will just further, this time on a higher time frame, and validate this breaking above 21,000 here on this 2-day chart, and also, again, back to this other 2-day chart right here with this cup and handle pattern. Then this right here on this 2-week chart kind of just sums up everything in general for the bull market structure and everything. What I'm using here is an inside pitchfork. It's from the bottom of 2011 to the intermediate high of what this right here is, the second cycle in Bitcoin's history, down to the bottom of the phase 2 within the 2 phases that are in a whole cycle. Again, a cycle of Bitcoin lasts from here starting in 2011 to the high in 2017. If you're interested in seeing more of an elaboration on that, if you're new to my content, I'll have that as cards at the beginning of the video, and also there will be educational videos at the end of the video if you want to check those out as well. But with respect to this pitchfork pattern, you can see that for right here we had this super cycle top in 2013. That is where we are right now. We saw our first top right here for the super cycle, and this is going to be our second top. We can see the same W type pattern right here leading into what we see as our golden pocket zones with respect to 2 retracements you can take in each of these bear markets, with the exception of this first one back here because it went down so quickly. Each time it comes down to this 1.618 golden pocket box pretty much, and it is happening very accurately and precisely over time. I believe if we do end up going up towards the upside, as I've been saying, this is also lining up with around 242,000, as you can see with that dotted horizontal line up towards the top of the chart. Here for Dogecoin, what I want to go over here is the fact that here on this 15-minute chart we are starting to see some bearish divergence here, and we are starting to get the most severe drop we've seen so far, which lines up with this bearish divergence. We also hit the 1.786 with respect to this retracement I've taken. If we continue to go lower from here, 10 cents or so will be the next area to hit around this 236 to the 328. on the retracement, or down to around 8 cents or so, around this 894 with respect to this previous price consolidation right here. If we go up here towards the hour, again, pretty much the same thing, coming down to around this area either, or down to here. We can see we're starting to get our first major, the bodies are thinning out for this candle, which could likely, given we are at some highs, we've overextended pretty quickly in a short amount of time, I would say. We're probably going to see some sort of drop recently, again, probably down to those price targets I gave. You can also see we are very overextended for this MACD. Stock RSI is at the top, same thing for the RSI as well, so I mean there's plenty of room to come down and at least see some sort of cool down to, I think, at least around 10 cents or so. Here on this 12-hour chart, what I want to point out on here is if we go back to the bottom, we see set in with these pink vector candles right here for Dogecoin. We can see at this final bottom we got a bullish divergence on all three of the indicators. And then if we go right here, let me pull up a trend line for this. You can see that the overall sentiment for this price action right here within this period, this time period, was negative. If you take a look at the RSI down here, even this, all three of them really, you can see it was more oriented towards the upside, which is, so we were seeing a bullish divergence there, and then we started to flatten out right here, and then pretty much this is just following up with all of that pressure being released. And Dogecoin is typically going to be one of the more leading indicators, I'd say, for the altcoin market, so this is definitely good to be seeing, I would say, in general for the altcoin market as a whole. That was about all that I really wanted to touch on in this video. I wanted to go to the 2-day one more time just to show the overall, because as I said and as I went over in my previous video, I wasn't necessarily expecting Dogecoin to see this quick of a move. We didn't really break too far above what I think. I think it still will be some time before we really break above this 13, 14, 15 cent area. So far you can see it's just amounting up to a wick at this point. I still think it's likely we will just trade within this general range around 10 to 8 cents, 13 cents or so, up until I think we start to culminate on where we've wicked at right now. You can see this wick, I believe, perhaps as a possible early on inclination towards the fact that we might finally see the parabolic movement around pushing like 12, 13, 14 cents or so, which I believe would make sense in terms of market structure. And looking at it in that view. But again, that was about all that I really wanted to touch on in this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully you're able to learn something, and I hope you all have a blessed day.